This is Bob Andelman, and you are listening to the Mr. Media radio interview with social media networker and PR guy extraordinaire, Peter Shankman of HelpAReporter.com and The Geek Factory. Peter, I'm told by our crack production staff, and I mean that in a good way. I'm not kidding. There, they are great guys. That we have this video ready of you. This is a day in the life. From, I believe it was, is it Rogers News Service? I don't have that right.
It was the Roger Smith Hotel, actually.
Roger Smith. Okay, that's it. Thank you. And folks, you can. This is just a portion of this. If you have an interest in Peter and you have not seen this, look it up on YouTube. And this is a day in the life, Peter Shankman. Check it out.
Howdy, my name is Peter Shankman, and I run Help a Reporter Out, which is the largest source repository in the world, connecting over 100,000 journalists and sources, letting small businesses all around the world get tons of free publicity, all for free. This is my carbon fiber bike. This thing is my travel bike, or my training bike. This one's my get around the city, get out of my way, or I'll run you over bike, which is awesome. But yeah, this is...
Are you a safe driver?
Yeah, so this is my baby. I've been running a PR firm for the past 10 or so years, and I have known more than that, close to 15 years now, and I've known journalists all my life, and they always call me and they ask, "Hey, Peter, do you know someone who does about this or knows about that?" And I always say, "Yeah, sure, call this guy," because I talk to everyone, because I have really, really bad ADHD. If you're in PR and you don't know about Herro, that's kind of like being a, wow, helicopter. Literally, it's right there. I always talk to everyone. And as such, everyone who I talk to, they always say, "Oh yeah, if you ever need someone for this, call that." So I put these people together, and when my Rolodex hit 10,000 people, it got a little too hard to do that. Good timing. Hey, anything that doesn't cost you to lose money is always a good start.
Peter, let's talk a little bit about Herro, or HelpAReporter.com, Help a Reporter Out. How did AOL Newsroom in '95 lead you to this?
Oh man, I wish I knew. I was actually I had just left grad school in Santa Barbara, California, and I was moving back to New York. And I was hanging out in the Melrose Place TV Gossip chat room, which led to my getting a job at AOL. And 2.5 years later, I moved back to New York, and after AOL, and no one knew really what to do with me. You know, it's kind of like the girlfriend I have now. She has no clue as to what to do with me, but she just thinks it's sort of cool to hang out with me. And that's how companies were dealing with me. Like, well, you work for the internet. We don't know what to do with you, so we'll just pay you to consult for us and tell us interesting stuff. And I thought there'd be a way to turn them into a PR firm, because at the time, no one really knew how to handle PR for the .com world. And so I came in and I said, well, you just have to be much faster, much quicker, and much more aware. And so I wound up consulting for a bunch of different .coms. And I started my agency in '98, and I grew it to about 15 people. I sold it in 2001 to a larger agency. That led to the Geek Factory, which is this huge agency that was acquired. Was consulting, was always talking to journalists, and always, they'd say, "Hey, we need someone who knows about whatever. Who do you know who does this or that?" And I'd say, "I'll call this person." And that led to people constantly calling me, and my building a website where they could just submit their information, send it to the right people, and we'd send it out. And now we have 135,000 members on Herro. It's grown beyond my wildest dreams. It's doing really well. It generated $1.4 million in revenue last year. And I'm having a blast. And as an added bonus for your listeners, the sun is actually just going down. So you can actually literally just get the sunset. In another 10 seconds, it will be beyond Jersey. And I don't know what's beyond Jersey. I've been told very...
Oh, I'm from Jersey. Be careful.
It's just more of a turnpike, but apparently the sun is about to just go past the turnpike. So there you go.
Wow, how about that, folks? There are definite advantages from evolving this show from radio only to radio and video. Man, that is pretty cool. And now, $1.4 million. I mean, when you started this, were you thinking this was going to be more service or more income? Because
when I started, I was helping people out, and it was a great way to get my name out there. And then I remember it was actually really funny. We never started advertising until we get a call. I get a call in I think it was July of 2008 from American Apparel. and they said, hey, you have like 15, at the time we had like 15,000 people on the list. And hey, those 15,000 people, aren't they like, they're mostly PR people, right? I go, yeah. They go, aren't most PR people like anorexic and like wear our clothing? And I remember looking at myself going, yep, I'm Peter Shankman over here. How you doing? You know, like I couldn't believe that that's what they actually asked me. But that's what they said. So we had one ad, and since that day, me and my Kate Moss fat ass of a body has never been without a Herro advertiser. It's been pretty amazing.
That's great. That's a great story. I love that. Now, what about do journalists? Do they resist or they respect the site, or does it even matter?
Journalists are huge fans of it, and here's the funny thing: other companies have tried to sort of steal what we have and take, create like, oh, well, we'll just buy a mailing list, and journalists will come to us. Except for the fact that I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been consulting, and I've been doing social media, and I've been networking with journalists for 10 years to the point where we've built up a level of trust that journalists say, okay, we get that. He's not going to mess with our data. He's not going to, if we want to go anonymous, he's not going to share it. We're okay. And they trust me, and that's something that I've had. Herro's an overnight success that's taken 10 years. No one else can say that.
Well, it is quite the success, and I want to make sure before we completely run out of time that I tell everybody you can follow Peter Shankman pretty much anywhere social media is found, from his website, shankman.com, to hireareporter.com, onto Facebook and Twitter, where he is known as Skydiver, so it's twitter.com/Skydiver. Did I miss any of the big ones, Peter?
No, that's pretty much it. You know what I'm getting really into? Plancast. If you haven't discovered Plancast, it's freaking awesome. You basically, anything you're doing, like tomorrow I'm flying to LA in the morning, and I'm hosting a happy hour, and you just go to plancast.com/Shankman, and it lists all of my events, everything I'm doing, right down the list. It's really cool stuff.
I will check that out. And Peter, listen, thank you so much for entertaining us, giving us the sunset, and for being
It's gone now. You see, it's gone now.
Thanks so much for being on the show today. We really enjoyed it.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And folks, for more original interviews with America's social media and public relations pros, you can surf over to our main website, mrmedia.com, mrmedia.com. And you can now hear Mr. Media while you're on the go with Stitcher Radio. Stitcher is a free news and talk mobile application. The latest episode of Mr. Media is always available for you, no syncing needed, and no memory wasted. It's available for your iPhone, your Palm Pre, Android phones, or your BlackBerry. Downloading is easy. Go to Stitcher.com or check out the App Store for your individual mobile phone. And please take advantage of this great offer for Mr. Media Radio listeners. Go to audiblepodcast.com/mrmedia to get a free audiobook download of your choice when you sign up today. Again, that's audiblepodcast.com/mrmedia for your free audiobook. Subscribe to Mr. Media on iTunes and you'll never miss a show. Just search Mr. Media Interviews from within iTunes and subscribe for free. You can also listen with a piece of string and a tin can in many locations. If you've got an idea for a guest, email me directly at bob@andelman.com. You can also follow me on Facebook or on Twitter, twitter.com/Andelman, or on Facebook, search for Mr. Media Radio Interviews. Thanks so much for joining us today. Really appreciate you sharing a piece of your day with Mr. Media. Thanks for listening, folks. Come back soon.